It's something, we've all heard the importance of having an emergency fund while you're working, but that advice doesn't stop when you retire. It's advice for people of all ages. And Ernie Burns with Burns Estate Planning and Wealth Advisors joins us now to talk a little bit more about that. This is something that I know you would preach to everybody, regardless of whether they're working or retired, to have a little nest egg on the side for emergencies.
Yeah, we do, but in the same instance, our clients are all over 50. We definitely preach it to our retirees because you're trying to retire and enjoy your retirement. The last thing you want to worry about is undue expenses.
So how much of an emergency fund, what should it cover?
We always suggest 3 to 6 months. And with inflation the way it's been the last couple of years, I can definitely ease some of the pain.
So for somebody who's retired, I mean, I've heard the 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
For somebody who's retired, how do you, if you've got Social Security coming in, how would you compute that? How would you?
Well, you calculate your expenses, first of all, before you go into retirement, can make sure you can retire. And therefore, once you have those assets built up and you've drawn enough from your savings and investments to supplement your income, in a sense of interest and dividends, not your principal, you're okay in retirement to retire. However, when undue expenses occur, you want to make sure you have those 3 to 6 months that incorporate. For example, right now, inflation in the last couple of years, and now we have stagflation that's really coming in. All this occurring right now is putting pressure on you. And if you have those expenses set aside, that income set aside for those expenses, well, now that reduces a lot of pressure on you, a lot of stress in retirement.
Everybody's in a different point in life. A lot of young people are trying to save money for a mortgage, which is more than it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people in the audience are saying 3 to 6 months, is he out of his mind? I'm not getting 3 to 6 months together. So what advice would you have for somebody who just can't hit that mark because they've got tuition and everything else that we have in life?
You got to start paying yourself like a bill. So once a month, write a check to yourself in a sense that you're paying yourself once a month to save. Whether it's $10, $100, $1,000 a month, whatever you can afford, pay yourself. And over time, that money will build up. So pull back on those credit cards, pull back on some of those expenses, and start paying yourself once a month.
Even if it's $10.
Yeah, whatever.
Pay yourself $10, and suddenly 2 years later, that's almost $250.
There you
with
go.
Some interest.
Put it to the side.
Let's say, Ernie, that somebody has hit this mark, that somebody's fortunate enough that they've done well, they've saved responsibly, whatever. When you get to a point where you've got enough, what do you do with the rest of the money?
Great question. Make sure your money starts working for you. Most accounts right now with brokerage companies or basically mortgage companies are also paying around 5% right now. Those brokerage firms and those money markets are paying that 5%, and some banks now are paying 5% APY on those money market accounts. At least make sure it's making some type of interest above inflation, and then invest it, anything above that.
Gotcha. All right, Ernie Burns, great advice as always. Thanks, Ernie.
Thank you.